Hey everybody, I'm Benjamin, aka The Terrible Australian of Supermastery.com, and this is my video review of The Gallows, which is the new found footage horror film that's now released in cinemas. So let's get right into it. Now, I know a lot of people sort of have problems with found footage horror films, and I can understand that, but for me, I'm actually quite a fan of a lot of them. Like, I do agree in some regard that it can be, depending on, the type of film that they're making, it can be a very sort of, kind of a cheap, kind of lazy sort of filmmaking device. But depending, like if it's used in a way that's, uninspired and just doesn't add nothing to the story. But of course, you do get a lot of really good ones out there that use it rather effectively, like, the Blair Witch Project or Cannibal Holocaust or the Wreck films. And, there's so many great found footage horror films out there, and at the same time there are a lot of crappy ones as well, but it all sort of comes down to how it's used and if it's done well and it actually makes sense for the story. So with The Gallows, which is this new film that I'm reviewing, and I thought, okay, this is, I like found footage horror films, I'll check it out, and it has a story that, could, use the format well. And I thought the trailers itself were kind of creepy, so in that regard, I went and checked it out. And I have to say, unfortunately, I didn't think this film was good at all. And to me, this is one of the ones I would classify as kind of using the format in a way, using the sort of technique of found footage in a way that does feel very uninspired. Like, even though there are some really effective, creepy moments in this film, and there are, like, every now and again, but at the same time, it doesn't really make sense in the context of the story, because you got these teenagers who, like, one in particular who likes to videotape everything. It never explains why he likes videotaping everything. Like, if it could easily just been summed up like he's somebody who likes, is a filmmaker or something like that, and it never really explains it. Like, the only thing you know is that he's videotaping sort of this sort of like theatre performance that's going on at the school that the film's set. But even then, like, it doesn't explain why he's sort of shooting everything after that. And then it even makes it even worse when the sort of our characters decide to break in the school to tear up the sort of the props for the play that the school is doing. It doesn't even make sense in that regard, because why would you videotape that? Because, if you're pretty much incriminating yourself by doing that. It's somebody's going to stumble across your footage and you're going to be in huge trouble and you're going to be turned into the law. So why videotape that? And that's kind of strike one, where the whole believable factor of the found footage format pretty much goes out the window, because you're not doing it in a way that's believable and makes sense. And it like, sometimes, of course, there've been other horror films in the past that have used this, like, videotaping crimes and stuff like that. But at least in those films, they sort of do it in a way that makes sense and works in the context of the story. Here it just doesn't work at all, and it doesn't help that the cast, which is mainly just 4 actors, don't really give rather poor performances, and the script is pretty poor as well. And also, the film has a really good premise, and it starts off pretty well, and but eventually, as the film sort of goes along, it just kind of gets more cliched and uninspired as it goes on. But that being said, though, the directors, Travis Cluff and Chris Lofing, who also wrote the script as well, they do create some pretty intense, creepy moments in the film. And I think what makes this film at least was tolerable for me was, some of their directing choices, because, it's for some of the creepier scenes in the film. But unfortunately, it's just really the cast and the script are just not good at all. And there's sort of like logic gaps that the film kind of, there are also things that go against logic that just don't work at all, and plot holes, and also the ending doesn't work. Like, I get what they're going for with this ending, But after when you sort of watch it and sort of think back on it, it doesn't make any sense. And I wish I could explain why that is, but that would have to go into the spoiler territory when it comes to this film. So you'll know what I mean if you decide to check it out. So, but unfortunately, yeah, this one didn't really work at all. And like there was potential in there, but unfortunately, it just wasn't able. It just due to the performances and the script and some of the sort of filmmaking choices, like mostly with the found footage format, it just doesn't work. And it's kind of disappointing because the potential was there. And this, like I said, there are creepy moments, but unfortunately they're just few and far between. So overall, if I had to give the Gallows a rating, I'd probably give it a solid 2 out of 5. Like, it's a pretty mediocre film, and it doesn't really add anything to the found footage genre. And I would classify this as one, like, even though there are times when it's used rather effectively, but unfortunately for most of the time it's used in a rather sort of pointless and kind of lazy way as well, which is unfortunate. But because you can see the sort of the seeds of something really good here, especially if the found footage format itself was done better. So yeah, overall that's my review of The Gallows. I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys all later. See you, everyone. Bye.